is another beautiful Chamber of Commerce type day here in Atlanta, Georgia, and another big crowd gathering at SunTrust Park for the third and final game of our series with the Giants, who have been very rude guests. The Giants have won the first two games of the series. Atlanta tries to get out of town with a win on a beautiful Sunday for baseball. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe, welcome back to the ballpark. San Francisco has been a Giant, well, you know the rest. They've scored 20 runs in the first two games of this series. They're playing their best baseball of the season. And today, Joe, Atlanta turns to a rookie right-hander to try to slow down the Giants and get the Braves back in the win column.
Yeah, don't think for a minute that Mike Soroka hasn't been paying attention to what the Giants are doing. You go back 3 games on the Giants, they've scored 29 runs. This is some of Mike's work in his major league debut in New York at Citi Field. He was outstanding. He was not scared. He was not intimidated. He was making good pitches. He gave up 1 run. That was on a home run by Cespedes. 6 hits, no walks included in that work, and at 1.99 ERA at AAA before he was called up. What I like about today's matchup is that the Giants don't know anything about Soroka. The Braves don't know anything about Andrew Suarez pitching for the Giants, except what they might have seen on video. Nobody's faced each other anywhere, so this will be fun to watch.
Yeah, we're going to play baseball, see ball, hit ball. Hopefully Atlanta can do it more than the Giants as we play in Game 3 of the series. Mike Soroka's home debut is just a few moments away. Braves and Giants baseball from SunTrust Park coming right up.
Delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. And by Delta Airlines.
Perfect weather in Atlanta. There's your weather report. 74 degrees and sunny with Joe Simpson and Kelsey Wingert, who will be reporting from the Braves dugout. Chip Carey with you for Game 3 of our series. Braves try to get back in the win column. They start action at 19-13 on the year, a 1-game lead now over the second place Phillies in the National League East. The Giants are surging. They're now 18-15, 4 behind Arizona. That is Mike Soroka. You can't pitch much better than he did in his major league debut against the New York Mets. But it's a different environment for him now, Joe. His home debut, his first game pitched here on the SunTrust Park mound as a major leaguer. and hopefully the first of many in a Braves uniform.
Yeah, and hopefully the mound will be to his liking. You know, if you've never pitched on a mound, even if it's your home start for the first time, standing O from a lot of the fans, it might be a little bit of an adjustment. But as we know, the ground crew here does a fabulous job. It should be perfect. He's outstanding, though. 20 years old, 6'5", 220, out of British Columbia, first-round pick in 2015, the 28th pick of the draft that year. That's his line in New York. No walks, 5 strikeouts. I think I was as impressed with no walks as anything, because he didn't show any nerves, didn't appear to be out of sorts at all. First appearance, of course, against the Giants. His 4 keys to pitching success today. Well, it is a new day, but use the same stuff. Everything was working that night in New York. Good sinker, slider, had a good curveball, is locating his fastball beautifully. And leadoff men. This series for the Giants, the leadoff men have been really a problem for the Braves starting pitchers, Boltonevich and McCarthy. Try to get that first guy, try to eliminate these big innings that have really been a problem.
Yeah, the Giants in the first 2 games of this series, 20 runs, 31 hits, 13 hits with a runner in scoring position. That's a problem if you're trying to play Bruce Bochy's ball club, which is on a terrific roll starting their road trip. His Toyota starting 9 looks very similar to what we saw last night, with the exception of Evan Longoria and Buster Posey are not in the starting 9 for San Francisco. Pablo Sandoval gets the start at the hot corner. Nick Hundley, who's red hot at and behind the plate, is catching San Francisco today. Giants head to Philly and Pittsburgh on the rest of their eastern swing. After the game, the Braves head down to Tampa Bay and get set for a date with the Rays beginning Tuesday night at Tropicana Field. Here's Gregor Blanco. He's going to lead things off for the Giants. And somebody's got to shut the bullpen gate. In left field. Perhaps Jerry Lane and his crew are testing the replay system here in Atlanta. Don't know if it's operative. We haven't thrown a pitch in competition yet, but we are momentarily delayed.
Well, maybe they put their headphones on because they can't hear each other talk for the music and the decibels of the music being played. So Mike Soroka will continue to warm up. I can't imagine what this is about.
Maybe a hinge broke on the bullpen gate and they can't close it, and they're asking New York for instructions as to how to proceed. That's possible. I believe Suarez has already made his way to the Giants dugout, so there's no reason for the Giants bullpen to have the door open down there.
Well, the security guard will go through that gate and close it, just like the one out by the Braves bullpen.
Theoretically. But you're right. Not sure why we're. So we understand from our producer Brian Woodrum that the replay screen in the Braves dugout is currently frozen. It is not operating properly. So as a result, both the Braves and Giants will not have that replay review until it's corrected, unless it's an umpire's challenge, is my understanding of the rule. And Soroka and the Braves waiting to get this thing started once we sort out the electronic glitch here before game 3. And Brian Snitker apparently is not liking the answer he's being given. And so Greg Gibson goes to third. Jerry Lane will rotate around to second base. The security guys will enter the bullpens, shut and lock the gates, and we are at last ready for baseball. Gregor Blanco, the tough luck Giants hitter last night. There weren't many of those in their starting 8. And the first pitch strike from Soroka gets the day started. Giants had 18 hits. Gregor Blanco, the only Giants starter besides the pitcher not to have one. Gregor hitting .275 on the year, 3 RBIs. And Soroka back to work. a little bit low. 2-1. Would you assume both clubs will be seeing a lot of pitches, or try to see a lot of pitches to get a feel here early?
I would think so. You want to see a few pitches. It's not the same as video and watching his outing against the Mets. You want to see how it comes out of his hand and velocity, timing.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And that just missed. Good eye by Gregor Blanco. The Giants were very patient last night. Saw a lot of pitches. Braves only walked 2 of their hitters. That's because everybody was getting hits. And that's inside, a leadoff walk. So Blanco's aboard to start game 3. And one of Joe's keys comes into play immediately. Leadoff man aboard here in the top of the first. That'll bring up Andrew McCutchen, who's riding a 5-game hitting streak. McCutchen's 8 for 16 in that stretch. 3 hits in game 2. A hit and 2 walks and a run scored in the series opener. Blanco stolen a couple of bases, and Soroka with a belt-high fastball, a strike.
Andrew McCutchen, one of those rare guys that once he gets in the box and gets his bat up, he doesn't take a practice swing.
Save them for when they count.
Most guys are kind of throwing the bat out there to stay loose, kind of measure it a little bit before they get set, kind of a timing mechanism. Not McCutchen. He's ready.
Blanco has a good lead. A check of him by Soroka. And Mike brings it way outside. Ball 1. Mike has pitched on this mound here at SunTrust Park. You might recall the Futures game took place on March the 27th. Mike pitched the first inning against the Braves regulars for the minor leaguers. Pitched well in that first inning. So while it's different, it's not completely foreign to him. And now he's facing the opposing San Francisco Giants.
Good point. I forgot about that Futures game. That'll help him with his surroundings.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And now it's even for Andrew McCutchen. Mentioned in the opening commentary of this series, the Giants, the 3rd oldest team in Major League Baseball. We question at the end of this series whether they would be old or experienced. They are very experienced, as McCutchen has played pepper in right field with the Braves all series long. He hit that one on the button, but right at Markakis for the first out.
Yeah, a few knocks to right field have kind of taken away that shift they had on him.
So here's Brandon Belt. Belt at 300 on the year. He's reached base in 17 straight games, and we talk a lot about Buster Posey being a Braves killer. I think Brandon Belt has become one of those too.
Very underrated player, in my opinion, in the National League. He can play in the outfield too if they need him to.
Stroke toward right center. Great jump. Ender's going to get there. Belt can't believe that ball didn't get to the gap. He thought he squared it up.
They have been squaring it up. Everything they've been hitting has that ring to it. They're hitting everything right on the nose. Ender's got some new kicks on.
Nice.
They look fast. You need a pair of those.
They don't make them big enough or wide enough to make me look fast. Here's Nick Hundley Runner at first, 2 outs. That's the old Celtics did. They always wore those black shoes. You know, it's like, look at them and say, oh, they run like Herman Munster. And then they fly by you and dunk. So maybe the new kicks will lead to good luck for Ender and the Braves today, as Hundley red hot. He's got 8 hits in his last 10 at bats. Nice luxury for Bruce Bochy to say, okay, Buster Posey, take the day off, and you put in Hundley, and you get equal production. All of his homers, all of his RBIs have come in his last 11 games. He saw 1 pitch last night as a pinch hitter and rifled a single. Braves have been able to handle San Francisco in the first inning in this series. It's been the second that's been a problem. See if Soroka can take care of Hundley and get the bats going. The pitch.
Ooh, that was pretty close.
Vic Carapazza has the plate. Looks to be a very strict strike zone here in the top of the first so far. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of day you'll have, but you know, when there's a strike called, he'll bark it out quickly.
Runner goes. Pitch in the dirt. Throw to second is high. And Gregor Blanco has his 3rd stolen base. And Hundley now ahead in the count, 3-1.
Big lead. Good crossover. Tough pitch for Tyler to throw on, too.
So Hundley in the driver's seat. Pablo Sandoval waiting on deck. And the pitch is inside. So a couple of walks for Soroka, who didn't walk anybody against the Mets. And Sandoval, the 5th hitter, coming up. This has been what the Giants have done, Joe. They get lots of guys on. They've been hitting very well with runners in scoring position, up and down their lineup. They're swinging the bat very effectively, playing like the Braves played against the Mets in New York.
Exactly. And they're 2nd in the league in hitting and on base percentage behind the Braves, and closing fast.
A strike to Pablo Sandoval, hitting .244. Sandoval, of course, left the Giants, signed that big contract with the Red Sox. They let him go. And basically, they're getting his services for the major league minimum. And at these prices, that's almost free.
Yeah, it is.
When you think of everyday players in the sport now. Still one of the most popular players to ever wear a San Francisco Giant uniform. That's saying something. This is his 8th start, 5th at 3rd base. The pitch. He is a little low, ball 2.
Well, one of the things about the Giants and their roster is that they're kind of up against the payroll tax. They don't want to exceed it. They can't afford it. So any player they might add, they've got to squeeze it in under that payroll tax if they can. And the way their pitching staff is right now, they might need to add some guys.
Soroka had to throw 20 pitches in the first inning, a couple of walks, but he gets out of it. San Francisco fails to score. Here come the Braves in the first. Business at the Battery is booming. Business in SunTrust Park is blossoming as well, as are the Braves, who are still in first place at 19-13 on the year. Ozzie Albies, Ronald Acuna Jr. first and second on the Toyota starting nine today. Freeman, Markakis, Bautista fifth, Flowers sixth, Camargo, Soroka eighth, Ender and Ciarte ninth. And Joe, as you said, a man they've never seen before. Here's the opponent, another left-handed pitcher featured by the Giants.
Anders Suarez was a second-round pick by the Giants just a couple of years ago. He's made 2 starts since he got called up. And his most recent one against San Diego, he pitched well. 7 innings, 4 hits and 2 runs, only 1 walk. Fastball sits in the low 90s. Slider, changeup, and an occasional curveball. 6 feet, 185 pounds out of the University of Miami.
Ozzie Albies leads off for the Braves in the first, which has been a great and productive inning for Atlanta this year. Braves have scored 35 first-inning runs. They've scored in the first inning in each of the first 2 games of the series, but have not been able to hold that lead. High fly ball to left. Blanco is in. High Sky says he's got it, and he does, for out number 1. No sunglasses for Gregor Blanco, but little trouble as he picked up that high fly ball from Albies. Here's Acuna. Ronald is the winner of the All Bad Luck Award in this series. He's 0 for 8. 8 batted balls in this series. 6 of the 8 have been hit over 100 miles an hour. Talking with Bruce Bochy about that before the game, he was extremely impressed with this Braves team, Albies and Acuna particularly, and said, I have to tell my infielders to put a screen up in front of them on the infield.
Back up.
And they have. The pitch is lifted out of play, foul, 0-2.
I can see how this guy's fastball can get on you. First of all, that was 92, so that was pretty darn good, but he's got a very deliberate windup and then kind of jumps on you.
First base side of the rubber, and here it is. And he gets that one through. Acuna with a base hit on an 0-2 count. So his first hit at home as a Brave. A clean single here with 1 out.
2 good fastballs, fouled him off, and then they tried to trick him. Breaking ball. Thank you very much. Stayed back. Got the knock.
Exit velocity on that hit only, and I say only, 97 miles an hour. Here's Freddie. And he didn't get the first one. Strike 1. Giants have done a very nice job in this series to Freeman, Inciarte, Acuna, and Camargo. Those 4 men have combined to go 2 for 28 at the plate in the series. Freddie's 1 hit, a first-inning homer. He's behind 0-2.
Braves have been very good in day games. They're 9-1. The Giants 6-6. Suarez, kind of like Soroka, was off to a great start in the minor leagues, 2-0 with a 1.16 ERA prior to his call up.
That's tipped and caught by Hundley, and Freeman's retired. First strikeout for Suarez. 1 on, 2 outs. Well, as you said, he's a second-round pick. If you're a number 2 pick out of that great baseball program that is Miami, that's saying something. This guy's got a chance to be a real good pitcher. But he's got a tango with the hottest Brave. That's Nick Markakis, our Georgia lottery feature.
Those are pretty good numbers, wouldn't you say? But 23 hits in the 12 games. That's right at 2 a game. And more importantly, 1 strikeout in 48 at bats. And he is tearing left-handers up. 459.
Nick with an 18-point advantage over Asdrubal Cabrera in the National League batting race. In fact, the Braves have 3 hitters in the top 10. Flaherty at 310, Freddie Freeman at 309. Buster Posey, the lone giant, he's at 307, but not in the lineup today. No balls and a strike. Acuna with a good lead. And Markakis takes it low. 1 ball, 1 strike. But the Giants are doing what they're doing with so many injuries to their pitching staff is really remarkable work. Johnny Cueto, bad elbow. Madison Bumgarner broke his finger in spring training. He's just starting to come back. And here they are, only 4 games out of first and trying to gain ground on the road trip, which they've done already by winning the first 2 games of this series. One ball, 2 strikes, and a close play at first. Foul back.
This guy was drafted out of high school by Toronto and did not sign. They drafted him in the 9th round, so he went to Miami. And then the Nationals took him in the 2nd round in the 2014 draft. Did not sign. Thought he might be able to improve his stock by moving up to the 1st round by coming back for his senior year. He didn't move up, but he did still get drafted in the 2nd round. San Francisco.
Slowly hit to the right side, bobbled by Hanson. Throw to first is not in time. And boy, the Giants, as well as they've played in this series, have had an awful time catching the baseball. A routine ground ball is botched by Hanson, the 6th Giants error in this series, and it brings Jose Bautista to the plate.
Just a routine ground ball, too.
So maybe too much foil was put on by Hanson for tonight's game, and Bautista a chance with 2 outs to cash in a couple of Atlanta runs. Bautista 2 for 7 with the Braves, and that's outside, ball 1.
Always a good thing to get that extra out when you got men on base and have a guy with Bautista's potential to put a real dagger in the inning against the Giants because of the mistake. Well, he's throwing a lot of breaking balls.
Throw a fastball to this team at your own peril. 2 on, 2 out, 2-0 count for Bautista. Generous strike there. That wasn't a strike for Soroka earlier.
No. This guy really works as far over to the first base side of the pitching rubber as he can get. He's only got about half of his foot touching the pitching rubber. Just trying to get some angle. Could be especially tough on the lefties.
Let's see what Bautista gets with a 3-1 count. Off speed. That was a beauty.
It was.
That's exactly where Hundley wanted it, and Suarez dropped it in perfectly. So Markakis and Acuna will be running on a full count. There they go. The pitch is lifted foul and back into the seats.
The limited scouting report on Suarez was that he would throw his slider more than his curveball. That has not been the case this inning. Maybe because he's putting it where he wants it.
Mike Soroka threw 22 pitches in the first inning. Suarez about to make his 21st. Runners go, and it's popped up. Hundley behind the plate will chase to the screen, but that's in the SunTrust seats. Right behind home plate.
It's a good thing they handed out some fans today to the fans.
Fans down the first base side in the third and fourth decks, covered by that 90-foot cantilevered roof. Bright sunshine down third. Pitch is fouled away. Hundley couldn't hang on.
Another 3-2 breaking pitch. Folks in the South know how to do that, don't they? Professional fanners.
Fans in the outfield bleachers getting a gentle breeze blowing in their face, favoring the hitters today. As again, Suarez readies with his 3-2 pitch to Jose Bautista. Line to left. That ball is foul.
About as hard as he's thrown a fastball this inning. 94, a little bit up and in, it looked like on Jose, but my goodness, he turned on it, didn't he? Got those hips open and through the barrel. Hundley had a quick chat with Suarez about that one.
I want to try something else. 3 balls, 2 strikes again. Now we're ready. Here it comes. And ball 4. Nice at bat by Bautista. That keeps the inning alive for Atlanta, as did the error on the routine ground ball at second. That'll give Tyler Flowers a chance with 2 outs. Tyler's 2 for 12 to start his season. Remember, he was on the disabled list after he injured his oblique on opening day. Tyler had a 6th inning hit here on Friday night.
Suarez had only walked 1 batter in his first 13 innings in the big leagues. Prior to that, free pass.
Ground ball to the left side. Sandoval smothers. He bobbles, and everybody's safe. And Atlanta scores in the first again. Their 36th first inning run. An infield hit for Flowers, plates Acuna. It's 1-0.
Terrific glove work, but the Panda couldn't come up cleanly, and even with Flowers running, he had no chance. That error really was a break for Atlanta, the one by Hansen.
So Markakis at third, Bautista at second. Tyler Flowers has his first RBI, and now Johan Camargo's the batter. He smokes 1 to third. Sandoval made that play, and a beautiful play by Sandoval saves at least 2 runs. Camargo robbed, but Atlanta cashes in an error in an infield hit. 1-0 after 1.
understands that it was just one game, and he had a little bit of fun with it after the game. When San Francisco Giants manager Bruce Bochy tweeted out that he had some issues parking yesterday. He said he wasn't allowed to park in his spot in the media lot, so he had to go to the Braves parking lot. But he'll park wherever they want if he gets 11 runs. And McCarthy responded, hey, I gave up all those hits and runs out of respect for you after hearing about your parking snafu. Chip and Joe love to see the veteran having a good time. Just one game. He's not too worried about it.
Well, we were wondering, what it was about yesterday. Now we know.
Yeah.
Poor Bruce. I bet he had to walk quite a ways too.
Yeah, I talked to him about it. He said, heck, I'm just looking for a little attention here in town. I could have just parked in Hank Aaron's spot. That would have gotten everybody's eyebrows raised. But as an old dear friend might have said,
I wonder who's in charge of the visitors parking over in the visitors clubhouse.
As Brandon Crawford leads off for San Francisco, he's riding a 4-game hit streak, 9 for 18 in that stretch.
Well, here's a leadoff hitter. Here's the second inning. Got to get this guy.
This was a time where you'd really like to hear Lindsey Nelson's voice. Man with the multicolored sport coats, did the voiceovers for Notre Dame football highlights. And when the Irish were crushing Missouri or Oklahoma State or whoever they played back then, he said, we now move forward to the 4th quarter. We'd like to move forward to the 3rd inning if possible.
Yeah.
The way the Giants have rampaged against Atlanta in this inning. Good pitch, 2-2. Giants got 6 runs in the 2nd inning on Friday night against Mike Fultonevich. They got 2 runs in last night's 2nd frame. And that one's dumped toward left, and no chance for Acuna to get it. Crawford has another hit. That makes him 10 for his last 19 and his 7th hit in this series. We are catching him at a very bad time.
He's getting well in a hurry in this series. That pitch was up and away. Might have been an attempt at a slider. Looked kind of like a cutter, though. It was misplaced.
So here's Hansen. The machine took his quarter defensively on the E4 that led to Tyler Flowers' infield hit and run. He's knocked in 5 himself, though, in the first 2 games and takes a strike.
I wonder how many teams who have players with speed like Hansen will try to take advantage of Jose Bautista's lack of third base play over the last 10 years. Test him out.
He's creeping in at 3rd just in case. How would you say Jose's played in the 2 games at 3rd?
He's played well. He looks comfortable.
Not a lot of experience for Bautista there in the last 6 or 7 years. Little chopper that's going to bounce foul. And a ball and 2 strikes for Alan Hansen. It'll be interesting and fun, to be honest with you, when we get to Tampa Bay with the Braves playing the Rays in an American League ballpark. They'll add the DH. Brian Snitker has a couple of options to DH. Down at the Trop. That series starts Tuesday night. Sean Newcomb will pitch for the Braves against Ian Snell. The pitch. Two and two for Hansen. It's not Ian Snell, it's Blake Snell.
Ian was a good pitcher, though.
Yep. The old person synapses started firing here on Sunday. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1-0 Atlanta. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Hansen's down swinging. First strikeout at home for Soroka. 1 away in the 2nd inning.
There's the pitch that I think he was trying to throw Crawford. Little cutter. Buried it in on him.
Austin Jackson, no homers, 9 RBIs. But 6 of those ribbies have come in the last 5 games he's played.
Well, he started game 1, went 0 for 2, but he walked 2 times. And the walks were maybe an indication of him coming around because he's been striking out a ton. 30 strikeouts in 79 at bats.
That got Vic Carapazza. 0-2.
I've gotten him on the hand. Gotta love Tyler's chest protector, don't you?
Yeah.
Stars and stripes, a little camo. It's awesome.
No balls, 2 strikes. And like the NFL signal callers, both Kurt Suzuki and Tyler Flowers have that flap device on their left forearm that has tendencies of the hitter, game plan of attack. Checked it a moment ago after the foul ball. I need to check it again. He's got the next pitch in mind for Austin Jackson. Crawford leads, holds, and a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Soroka. That brings up Suarez, the Giants pitcher.
Do you realize how many of those things I would have on my arms if I were catching? That away, great location on that one, cutting it away from him. My arms would just be lined up with information.
Well, and they truly would be notepads because they'd be about that thick,
oh,
so you
yeah.
wouldn't get hit with a foul ball, right?
It'd be foam.
That's in for a strike. Do you like that? Do you not like it? Does it bother you at all? I mean, there's some purists who say, wait a minute, come on.
You know what? If they don't mind it, why should we?
Anybody else, right?
You know, they're veteran catchers who've learned to call their own games, and if they don't mind, then it's cool with me.
And as we know in the game today, information is power. It really is. Maybe it's just a mental touchstone for the players, just to confirm what they already have in mind. If it works, who cares? You're right. The pitch was a little low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And who's to say that he or Kurt's not going to go, oh yeah, I forgot to check that thing. I better do it just to make everybody happy.
There is that distinct possibility.
There might be some of that too.
Hadn't thought of that. 1-2 count. Strike 3, just struck out the side after giving up the leadoff hit. Hey, the Giants don't score in the second. That's a start. And Soroka looking good on his home hill. He leads 1-0. He'll lead off next.
Reed had been sent down to Gwinnett. Lucas Sims was recalled from Gwinnett, and Sims did his job. He pitched 4 innings in relief last night. Well, today he wasn't going to be available for a few days, so he has been optioned back to Gwinnett, and the Braves have recalled Luke Jackson from Gwinnett. So now they have a new face in the Braves bullpen, guys.
I think you're going to see a lot of that, Kelsey. Anytime one of the guys gets used either in consecutive days or has a long outing like last night when Lucas saved the team, I think you'll see that in a little bit of a rotation.
Might as well.
Yeah.
If he's unavailable, why play with 24 if you don't have to? As Mike Soroka leads off the second inning, and CRT and Albies to follow. And Lucas did a nice job last night. 6 strikeouts in 3 2/3 innings. He did give up a couple of runs, but gave the Braves much needed long relief work after Brandon McCarthy's well-documented struggles continued against the Giants.
The only thing is that the rules state that if you get sent down, you have to stay 10 days barring an injury. Which is what allowed them to return Preston Tucker the other night. They just sent him out and then decided to put Dansby on the DL.
One pitch missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wind picking up. It's really blowing out toward the right center field gap now.
15 miles an hour. He's making good contact, you know.
Put in play a couple of times up in New York. Sharply his first time. Adrian Gonzalez had to make a play on him.
Off Syndergaard.
Line drive, a base hit. Soroka's first big league knock. Hopefully somebody knows that's his first. Did you see what Crawford just did? That was great. He looked right at Soroka at first base and acted like he was going to launch it into the seats. That was super. Way to go, Mike. Congratulations. First big league hit in his first home game as a major league pitcher, and a good start for Atlanta here in the second.
See if the Braves can get NCRT going. Oh, for his last 11.
There's Mike's milestone hit. And Ender just foul at first. Jordan Baker had to skip the rope and the line as that ball was headed his way and called foul. That would have been at least a double for NCRT.
Just missed the bag. And the base too.
One count. And Ender didn't swing. 2-1. A run on 3 hits for the Braves. No runs, 1 hit for the Giants. A costly error brought home, or helped bring home, the first run of the day. No play for Sandoval. That one's in the seats. 2-2. Another great crowd at SunTrust today. They had 41,000 plus for Friday night, a sellout. 38,000 here yesterday. Maybe 35 to 38,000 again today, I would guess.
Yeah, boy.
Very well attended series. Braves trying to get out of town with a win. They will not be back here until May 15th. Braves will open up a 3-game series with the Cubs. Then Miami's in for 3. Then we go to the road again. It's been about 10 days since we've played the Phillies, so we, by rule, have to play them again.
Right.
Pitch is hit towards second. Hansen handles that one. And the throw to first in time. It's double play. 4-6-3 and out. Soroka and Inciarte, 2 away. So here's Ozzie. He flied out to left his first time up. He's our SunTrust confidence play.
Tearing up left-handers himself. Ian Markakis doing a number on him. Ozzie first in the league in doubles, total bases, extra base hits, third in homers. Quite a start.
And that's been a key to the Braves. His good work leading off ball games. We talked a lot about the runs scored by Atlanta in the first inning. Now 36 this year. This is the 33rd game of the season. The opposing starting pitcher has gotten a perfect 1-2-3 inning in only 7 of those first 33 games.
That's amazing.
There have been a few extra where the minimum has been faced, but not without a hit or a walk or an error. So that has gotten off to good starts by and large, and that's fueled this very impressive 19-13 start to the year. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fly ball center. Jackson says he's got it, and he does, and that retires the side. Another milestone for a Braves youngster here at SunTrust Park. Mike Soroka's first major league hit, a bullet right back where it came from. We go to the 3rd inning. Soroka and the Braves smiling in game 3. They lead 1-0.
And blowing out of the north-northwest.
Even the monkey grass is
It's
waving in the breeze. So Soroka gets ready for his second trip through the Giants lineup. He struck out 3, walked 2, and has given up just 1 hit. He leads by a run with Blanco leading off. You made a great point last night with all the offense the Giants put together that there has to be one guy in the lineup that is sacrificed to the baseball gods and go without a hit. That was Gregor Blanco last night. He went 0 for 5 while the rest of his mates rumbled to 11 runs and 18 hits. The saddest part was he had a chance to hit in the 9th, but Bruce Bochy pinch hit for him.
Maybe he's just trying to save his feelings a little bit. Didn't want to see him go 0 for 6.
Two balls and a strike for Blanco, who walked, stole a base, and was left stranded in the first. And he tries to bunt. This one's going to roll foul. And it's now 2-2. Striker's had a nice career, hasn't he?
He has. He definitely has, and he's got some rings. Thanks to the Giants. It was a big part of their World Championships just a few years ago.
Two and two from Soroka. And on a play left side foul, we'll do it again. That's in the air to center, a base hit. So Blanco, no hits last night, has one today, his first hit of the series. And another leadoff man on for the Giants. That's 3 for 3.
That same pitch, that slider. Made a mistake on it.
Beg your pardon, that's Blanco's second hit of the series. He had a triple in the opener after the 0 for 5 last night. He's 1 for 1 today. Thank you, Joe. Here's McCutchen.
He's got 8 years in the big leagues now.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Last year was with Arizona. The Giants brought him back, and here he is. And now McCutchen with a 5-gamer working. He lined out to right in the Giants' first. Hard hit ball, but Markakis caught it. That's inside, 2-0. Mike hasn't been as efficient in his second start as he was against the Mets. He's already up to 48 pitches.
He was getting some early ground outs, remember? Some tappers. Guys were on that sinker, getting the upper half and just kind of beating it in the ground.
Yeah, Mike didn't give up an out in the air until the 4th inning of that game against the Mets. He had 4 strikeouts in his first 3 innings. And needed 80 pitches to throw 6 frames. And now he's gone 3-0 to McCutchen. It's kind of what they did against Mike Foltynewicz. Mike didn't have real good fastball command on Friday, and they just waited him out. 3-0. Had the green light, fouled it back. Don't know how the year's going to play out for the Giants. We'll know a lot more when we see them again in September. But boy, the way they're playing offensively right now, this could be a very dangerous team. Runner goes. Pitch is popped out of play, full count. And I guess the scary thing for the rest of the West, Joe, is they don't have their club together yet. Hunter Pence is out, still rehabbing. Bumgarner beginning his road back from a broken pinky on his pitching hand.
There's only been one team out there playing well from the beginning, and that was Arizona, and they're still in first place by 3.5 over Colorado. The Giants started somewhat slowly, and now they're moving up, having won 4 in a row and 10 out of 13.
That missed inside, ball 4, a single and a walk. Gets things started for the Giants in the 3rd with Belt coming up. Well, and something else has to, shall we say, buoy the spirits at San Francisco. Big news out west today. Clayton Kershaw had to go to the DL for Los Angeles. So the Dodgers without Turner, now without Seager, now without Clayton Kershaw. And in 4th place, 7 games out, 3 games behind the Giants.
Well, this Giants ball club, the way they're swinging the bat, you can't give them 3 base runners. That's already 3 walks for Mike.
Braves shift for Belt, and he fouled that back.
Jared just gave me a note. This is beauty. 65 minor league games for Mike Soroka. He walked 3 batters in a game just 9 times. Very unusual. And I was just looking back to see who the umpire was in New York on his opener, and that was Mike Everett. That crew got criticized a lot by Mets players for being a little generous with the strike zone.
This one's been a very strict strike zone.
Yes,
for the most part.
And he's off just enough to not really get any borderline calls too. He wants contact, but now in this part of the order, that contact can be dangerous.
2-1 for Belt. Line to right and playable. Nick's got it. Tagging at second is Blanco. He'll move up 90 feet. Productive out for Belt. First and third for Hundley, who walked his first time up.
2 hard hit balls for Belt. We were talking about milestones earlier for the Giants. There's one today, a birthday for the best and the greatest of all the Giants. Willie Mays turns 87 years old today. Happy birthday to Willie.
Hundley has not hit into a double play yet. Keyword yet. This will be a great time for that sinker to work. Tying run 90 feet away for the Giants, and it's a liner out of reach of Ozzie. Blanco will score. McCutchen will stop at second, and Hundley continues to sizzle. That makes him 9 for his last 11. 11 RBIs in his last 12 games. Posey sits, Hundley plays. Hundley drives in the tying run.
Guess that's the way it's supposed to be when your backup's supposed to just carry the same slack, but he got a pitch letter high. A mistake there. And with Albies playing a little bit up the middle for a possible double play, that was an easy hit there for Hundley on a pitch coming back to him.
So a mound visit for Tyler Flowers. That brings up Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval grounded out to end the San Francisco first. 1-1 game now. And that's off the plate. Ball 1. Lined over third. That's going to get down for a hit. McCutchen streaks around third. He's going to score. Hundley goes first to third. Pablo Sandoval puts the Giants in front. The Giants may be long in the tooth, but boy, their experience is showing in this game. They are just wearing down Mike Soroka here in the third.
Can't get the ball down, Chip. Everything's up. That may have been what the visit to the mound was for from Tyler Flowers, and now one from Chuck Hernandez, just trying to get everything back down around the knees or lower.
Again, Mike's just a double play ball away from escaping further damage here. But the extra base runners that you talked about being a key today have certainly cost him, as well as 3 leadoff men in as many innings reaching. So here's Crawford, red hot, 7 for 11 in the series. He led off the second with a single.
And it was on a pitch that was up.
No balls and a strike for Crawford. Back to the mound. Soroka's going to fire to second one. Long throw to first in time. He got the double play he needed. And that's a big relief. San Francisco settles for 2 in the third. Good job by Mike to limit the damage. 2, 3, and 4 coming up for Atlanta. It's now a 1-run. Lead 2-1 is your score. They are putting the ball in play, hitting great with runners in scoring position, but they only lead by 1 on this beautiful afternoon in Atlanta. There's a look inside SunTrust Park from our Xfinity cam. Braves will have Acuna, Freeman, and Nick Markakis coming up, trying to chop down the Giants and escape with 1 out of 3 wins in the series.
That looked like a family Braves wardrobe. Looked good.
Ronald Acuna singled on an 0-2 pitch in the first inning and scored on Tyler Flowers' infield hit. Nine balls in play for Acuna. 6 of them hit 100 miles an hour or harder. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
This guy's pitching inside just enough to make that breaking ball effective. Made Acuna move his feet there.
Full count. That one hit toward third. Sandoval's got it. Loads up and close play. Beat it. Infield hit for Acuna. He outran Pablo Sandoval. The Giants are going to take a look at this. And he beat the Rap at first. Good hustle by Acuna.
That was great hustle. Getting jammed and then busting it out of the box. That extra shuffle cost him.
So Acuna's 2 for 2. Freddie Freeman the batter. Braves have had the leadoff man on in their last 2 innings. A double play took him out of a 2nd inning. Freeman struck out his first look, and he's behind 0-2. Giants have pitched him tough in this series. Freddie's 1 for 9 now. Swing and a miss. Freddie chased that ball inside. That's exactly how they pitched him in the first. Just got the StatCast info from our producer Brian Woodrum. From contact to his foot touching the base, it was 4.12 seconds for Ronald Acuna.
It's pretty good on a swing, really good, and from the right side.
Markakis reached on Hansen's error that led to the Braves' first inning run. Nick is rolling. Number 1 in the league in hits, 45 of them. 5 consecutive games with 2 or more hits. And a 12-game hitting streak during which he has 23 hits overall. And a big reason why is the point Joe mentioned. Only 1 strikeout.
He's the toughest to fan in the National League. 1 every 12 plus at bats.
And that fits right in with what this Braves lineup by and large has done. Top to bottom, they put the ball in play. Not a 3 outcome team. Those outcomes being walk, strikeout, or homer. Braves have 4 hits. They've left 3 on base to this point. The pitch is grounded toward Hansen. He's got that one this time, and Crawford handles and turns a beautiful double play. So Suarez has gotten 2 double plays in as many innings. He preserves a 1-run lead. Two on San Francisco, top of the 4th inning here in Atlanta with Joe Simpson and Kelsey Wingert. Chip Carey with you. Brian Woodrum, our producer. Mike Miller, our director. Gretchen Caney, our AD. Drew Jenkins handling our graphics and stats downstairs. Jordan Burleson upstairs for us. As we wrap up our series with the Giants today, Alan Hansen leads off. He struck out his first time up. See if Mike can get the leadoff man here for San Francisco.
And get the ball down. That double play last inning really helped.
to first off the heel of Freeman's glove. He can't corral it, and Hansen's going to reach.
Playing in shallow in case he tried to bunt. It's one of the advantages of a guy with speed who shows bunt. He's having a little extra room to try to hit the ball hard past somebody. It'll be a base hit.
Hansen's fourth of the series. 4 straight leadoff men on for the Giants. Here's Jackson. He whiffed in the second as well. Slow roller left side. No play. It's an infield hit for Jackson. Back-to-back infield hits, and now Suarez a chance to lay down a bunt.
First one was hit hard. That one was not. It was just hit in the right place. Again, with Camargo playing a little more up the middle in anticipation, hopefully, of a double play ball. He had a long way to go to get that, and no chance for Bautista to cut it off. Bunt in order. Let's see if the Braves can defend that. They went through a lot of drills here a couple of days ago, pitcher fielding practice. On just such a play as this. Covering first on ground balls to first, and then fielding bunts.
Strike one for Suarez. Stabbed at that one, didn't get it. 0-2. He got it down with 2 strikes. Only 1 play, and it's to first and in time. That's some excellent work by Suarez. So they're at second and third, and the top of the order is coming up.
This Giants team, when you've got the consistency of a manager over a long period of time like Bruce Bochy, it's the fundamentals that are taught, the way the game's played is always consistent, very much like it was when Bobby Cox was a manager of the Braves. There was only one way to do it, and that was the Bobby way, and the fundamentals were so important. Same with Bochy.
Blanco the batter. He's walked, singled, and scored. Infield pinches in at the corners as Gregor digs in. Well, the Giants are putting the ball in play in really good shape in this series. Leading up to Blanco's at bat, they've had 96 official at bats. They've struck out 18 times as a team. They have had a lot of chances to hit.
He had 13 hits through 4 innings last night.
They're up to 6 hits with 1 out in the 4th today. That's slashed out of play, even count. Yeah, in San Francisco, 22 runs now, 37 hits in the first 2 games and 3 innings today. One ball, 1 strike.
Plus they got some well pitched games. You know, that guy Stratton looked really good to me in the first game. Had a quality start, got a ton of run support. Last night, Block was outstanding. 1 earned run and 7 2/3. And both of them got a lot of runs to work with early.
Grounded foul. You know what the Giants' road ERA is? 2.70. That'll play home or road.
In their ballpark especially, as big as that place is.
Mentioned last night, Bruce Bochy, 900 career wins with 2 major league teams. As a skipper.
Hall of Famer.
No doubt.
3 world championships.
That's hit toward first. Runner coming home. A laser strike. Not in time. Hansen got in under the tag of Tyler Flowers. The Braves will take a look just to be sure. He broke the moment contact was made, and Freeman's throw couldn't beat Hansen. A run is in for the moment.
Here's another fundamental. We'll watch the play, the slide. He got his hand in there on a close play earlier in this series. He does so again. But that first angle we had showing him breaking in, taking his walking lead in from third, that was outstanding and led to a huge jump. Watch him almost running in already. And his momentum taking him to home plate at contact. That was well done.
And it builds the Giants lead to 3-1. Jackson to third, Blanco at first. Now McCutchen will hit. They have first and third of the Braves to death in this series. That's another instance where the new slide rules at the plate, the catchers blocking the plate rules, might have had an impact had that rule not been in effect, because Flowers would have had a chance to embargo the dish and force Hansen to decide to go in head first or try to go around him. Can't do that anymore. Have to give the base runner a clear path to the plate, and that's what allowed Hansen to slide in ahead of the tag, as well as the great base running fundamentals Joe mentioned.
Is that what they call that, the embargo rule?
No, well, they should call it the Buster Posey rule.
I think they do.
2 balls, no strikes for McCutchen. Hit high in the air toward left. Acuna comes in. Let's see if the Giants challenge his arm. There's the grab. Jackson's coming. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is close. Late. Dropped. No further advance. So McCutchen with the sacrifice fly has an RBI. Blanco still at first. 2 are out, and the Giants cash in their 2 infield hits.
The wind pushed this a little bit to his left. It caused him to keep drifting, kind of bouncing over. He wasn't able to get behind his throw. It's a darn good throw in that it was accurate from that throwing position, but he wasn't able to get behind it.
So Belt with 2 outs. 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth for San Francisco. They lead now 4-1. Belt's lined out twice. And now an even count. Washington's beating the Phillies today 1-0. Max Scherzer's pitching that game. I was told he had 10 strikeouts in the 4th inning. So he's got a special game going against the Phillies and Jake Arrieta. That's the marquee matchup in the National League today. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mets and Rockies are tied 2 apiece. The Mets decided to throw their thoughts of starting Jacob deGrom out the window. They put him on the DL today after hyperextending his elbow against the Braves up in New York. The 2-1. Close play at first. The Mets could always try to bring Matt Harvey back and start.
Yeah. Probably put Seth Lugo in the rotation, I would guess.
Makes sense. 2 balls and a strike. He's still popping his fastball, but he hasn't had, as Joe said, the same sink or action that he had in New York. At least not yet.
Not yet, and he had it working both directions at New York, both sides of the plate. Some cutting action, excellent sinker.
The 2-2 runner goes. Belt shoots one toward Bautista, who twisted and turned, came up with it on a slide. The Braves had a shift on. He was the only man on the infield who had a chance to handle that blooper by Belt. And the Giants have 3 soft hits in the 4th inning. They have 2 runs, and it continues now with Hundley coming up.
Well, everything they're hitting right now is headed to the grass. You know, it's dropping in, finding a hole. That got in on him, but it was still up and in the middle of the plate. Already the 3rd visit to the mound.
Braves have 3 of those left. As Hundley comes up, he's reached base twice. He's walked, singled, and knocked in a run. And Hundley reaching there, a ball and a strike.
And that's what he had working in New York. A lot of one-handed swings, toppers. I remember Cabrera being very frustrated, chasing some sinkers down and away. Today he's just had a hard time getting the ball down. Maybe a little too amped up.
One pitch. Markakis won't have a play on that one. It's foul. Nick Hundley, in his 2nd year with the Giants, has spent all but 50 games as a major leaguer, having his home park in the National League West. That was in 2014 when he played 50 games with Baltimore. He came up with the Padres, Colorado, and now the Giants. Up the middle, and Ozzie at the second base bag forces Belt to duck as he stands safely on the pillow, and that retires the side. 2 infield hits, a fielder's choice, and a sac fly later. The Giants extend their lead.
crowd so far. They had over 41,807 people here on Friday. That's the largest game ever attended here at SunTrust Park. Over 38,000 people here yesterday. The Braves' average attendance, 6th best in the NL. They lead the NL East. And Chip and Joe, you know, the players haven't been able to spend too much time at home because out of these 19 games, only 3 of them are at home, but they're loving every second of it. And this next homestand is going to be nuts as they welcome in the Chicago Cubs to kick that one up.
Yeah, you're right about that, Kelsey. The Cubs fans always travel well, and the Braves will see the Cubs 4 days in a row. That's kind of an oddity. We make up the rained out, snowed out, winded out game in Chicago on May 14th at Wrigley Field, then come right back to Atlanta and play the Cubs here on the 15th, 16th, and 17th. Then the Marlins are in for a weekend series. Then we go on the road again at Philly and at Boston. Braves are home a lot in June, August, and September. So all these road games early will, we hope, benefit the Braves with a lot of home cooking when the games perhaps matter most.
Right now, we got to get the bats cooking.
Yeah.
Got to get some offense generated against these pitchers for the Giants.
Bautista lines one into left center field. Jackson got there. And Jose's retired to start the 4th inning, 1 out. Braves had 4 runs, 7 hits in the series opener against Chris Stratton. 2 runs, 7 hits against Ty Block last night. And Suarez today is rather mesmerizing. He's given up 4 hits, 2 of them to Acuna, and only 1 run. Tyler Flowers has the Atlanta RBI, an infield hit that Pablo Sandoval could not make a play on at third base. Couldn't get that one either. A missile into left field by Tyler Flowers, who's 2 for 2. It has been the hot corner today for Sandoval.
Yeah, it has. Let's hope that that gets the bats hot in the Braves bat rack. Fastball. Nice turn by Tyler on that one. You know, the biggest play of the game so far might be the play Sandoval made in the 1st inning with the bases loaded when he robbed Camargo of extra bases.
If he doesn't catch that, the Braves have probably 3 runs, maybe more. So they're happy with the 1. They need a couple more here. Camargo bats with a man aboard, 1 out. Soroka scheduled to hit next, but Charlie Culberson's grabbed a bat. Sharply hit. Sandoval's got this one. Second base 1, first base 2. The Braves have hit the 3 double plays in as many innings. Suarez is making it look easy. He leads 4-1. with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, which allows you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for all the details. Mike Soroka done after 4 innings of 7, hit 4-run ball. He gives way to Sam Freeman, who will start the top of the 5th inning with Pablo Sandoval.
Sam had a rough patch there for a couple of games when he was being used a lot, about every other day over a 6-day period, but he is not allowed a hit or a run in his last 3 outings against the Reds, Phillies, and Mets.
I assume this will be a 1-inning performance for Freeman. Hopefully it'll be quick and easy for him. The pitcher spot is due up first when the Braves come up in the 5th inning. So Sandoval, Crawford, and Hansen the hitters. Sandoval 1 for 2 with an RBI. And a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. And he didn't get that. Freeman fooled Sandoval, who's down on 3 pitches.
It's a good start. Took a little off. Nicely done.
Crawford has a single. He's hitting to a double play. So he'll take a 5-game hitting streak with him to Philadelphia, which I believe is the next stop for the Giants.
Correct.
Where we will be big Giants fans.
Well, right now, Philadelphia's not too big a fan of Max Scherzer and the Washington Nationals.
No?
No. Through 5 innings, that's 15 outs, correct?
Yep.
Only 2 outs made by the Phillies through 5 innings that weren't a strikeout.
13 of them?
13. 11 in a row through 5.
Well, this is the anniversary of Kerry Wood's 20 strikeout game. I believe Scherzer has a 20 strikeout game. Maybe he can set the record today against the Phillies. He's got a shot at it. Swing and a miss by Crawford. 1-2 the count. Ready to feel old? Kerry Wood's 20 strikeout game in 1998. 20 years ago.
You were there, right?
I was. Most incredible pitching performance I've ever seen. Swing and a miss by Crawford. 2 up, 2 down.
It's against an Astros team that had a couple of Hall of Famers on it, too.
Biggio, Bagwell, Bell. Shane Reynolds started. He struck out 10 guys in that game. First pitch of the game from Kerry Wood was thrown so hard that Sandy Martinez, the catcher, couldn't get leather on it. It hit the umpire right in the mask. And the Astros that day had no chance. Only 1 hit in that game allowed by Kerry Wood. Ricky Gutierrez. Here's Alan Hansen. Hansen's had a very impressive series. He's got 4 hits, 5 RBIs. And he scored 3 runs. He has filled in beautifully for Joe Panik, who's had surgery on his thumb and is out approximately 6 weeks. That's headed for the Braves dugout area and out of play. Two-one pitch. is hit toward third. That's a fair ball. That hugged the chalk all the way down the line.
No way, no how did the Giants expect to get this kind of help from Alan Hansen after the injury to Joe Panik. I know he was having a good year in AAA at the beginning of the season, but he is just lighting this up.
So Hansen with a slap shot down the third base line is 2 for 3. They'll walk Jackson intentionally and go to Suarez, the Giants pitcher. Suarez got a sacrifice bunt down with 2 strikes. That led to 2 Giants runs. You talked about the Bruce Bochy, Bobby Cox right way to play baseball. That was maybe exhibit A in this game to extend what was a 2-1 lead to 4-1. Strike.
Yeah, he put it in the right place too. Third base side.
Let's just say his head is in that swing, his heart perhaps not.
His heart was, his back pockets and his wallet.
That too. That too. One more of those and we'll head to the home half. And thank you very much. Freeman strikes out the side, a double and an intentional walk. Good work for Sam in his inning of relief. Braves will go to the bench down 4-1.
Look where they are. Now pitch was down to Ender. 4-6-3. Nice turn. Got in on Markakis a little bit. Down and in. 4-6-3. Camargo ripped this, but he hit it right at Sandoval. 5-4-3. Difference in today's game, he's kept the ball down. Soroka was not able to.
So Freeman's going to hit for himself here in inning number 5. You got Blanco, McCutchen, and Belt coming up for the Giants in the 6th inning. Again, with so many relief pitchers on major league rosters nowadays, it really shortens up your bench. And when you need to make moves in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, if you have a big frame before that, you can run out of pinch hitters pretty quickly. So Sam will hit for himself here. Again, Atlanta's bench today: Ryan Flaherty, Preston Tucker from the left side, Charlie Culberson, and Kurt Suzuki from the right.
I got to say, I'm a little surprised.
I am too.
And here's why. You got to Charlie Culberson, you're leading off an inning. If there were 2 outs and nobody on, I understand it. But there's a day off tomorrow, so if you've got to use several guys out of the bullpen, then they have an extra day off before they have to work again on Tuesday. Now, having said that, I don't know who's available in the bullpen today. I don't know who's sore. I don't know if anybody's, ill. I don't know any of that. He knows this team a whole lot better than I do. But it does surprise me just knowing what I know.
So Freeman is retired to start the 5th inning. And Ender Inciarte will bat with bases empty and 1 man out. Ender 0 for his last 12. Let's see, last night Sims went 3 2/3 innings. Everybody else went an inning or less. Carl, Minter, and Winkler. Friday night, Moylan 1 inning, Biddle 1 inning, Max Fried 2, and Max was sent back to AAA. We'll see how it works out.
Brought up a fresh arm today, and Luke Jackson. I assume he's fresh. I'm not sure when he last worked at Gwinnett.
1 ball, 1 strike. And slapped to the left and headed for the seats by Ender. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Suarez is pitching beautifully. He's given up a run on 5 hits. Sharply hit past Eric Young, the Braves' first base coach, and into the seats.
Boy, who turned on that?
Braves in this series have combined to hit for 7 runs, 19 hits. The Giants had 11 runs and 18 hits last night. Their pitching has been very, very good. They've cooled off a red-hot Braves offense that came to town on quite a roll after a remarkable road trip. Saw Atlanta win 7 of 10 games. They'd outscored their opponents 35-4 over a 5-game stretch. Starters hadn't lost a game since April the 10th.
Well, Atlanta got off to a great start in this series. They did what they'd been doing. They got a 2-run homer from Freddie in the first inning of the first game. Giants came back, got 6 in the top of the 2nd inning, and threw a bucket of water on all the excitement.
Strike 3, Ender do it. Ender is 0 for 9 in the series, 0 for 13 overall. And Suarez has his 4th strikeout. Comes here in the 5th inning. Back to the top of the order. And Ozzie Albies. Stick with us, fans, for the middle of the 7th inning. The stretch is presented by Advance Auto Parts. One ball, no strikes for Ozzie, who's hit the ball in the air twice. Once to left, once to center. That's rifled toward right center. McCutchen looks up. That ball's high off the bricks. And Ozzie slams on the brakes as McCutchen played that as well as any visiting outfielder has played that wall in the young history of SunTrust Park. How well did he play it? Albies was about 1/3 of the way to second and slammed on the brakes.
Let me give you a reminder on where Andrew McCutchen used to play. Pittsburgh. Remember the wall, the Clemente wall out there in right field?
Yes, sir.
He played it like playing that wall in Pittsburgh in right field.
So Albies with a 4-game hitting streak. He's aboard in front of Acuna. Ronald's 2 for 2. He singled on an 0-2 pitch in the first inning and scored after the Giants committed an error. And then he legged out an infield hit in the third inning, got down the line in 4.12 seconds. It's another multi-hit game for Mr. Acuna.
Just looking up something on Ender. 0 for what in this series? 9. In the Mets series, when the Braves really had it rolling and he was batting 9th, in those 3 games he led off 5 times to get that going ahead of Albies and Acuna for Freddie. 5 times he led off. He has not led off 1 inning in this series, and last night made the last out 4 times.
And Brian Snitker has said that he was going to use this pitcher hitting 8th lineup as long as the Braves were rolling with it. We'll see if it's adjusted with the DH down in Tampa in play. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And a good eye, good secondary lead for Albies. He'll take second on a ball in the dirt. So we have a full count now. If Acuna could reach, Freddie would come up. A chance to tie the game.
It's a nice block by Hundley, but a better read there by Ozzie.
So let's see what Acuna gets. He got a fastball and he didn't catch up to it. A 90-mile-an-hour heater takes care of Acuna, and Suarez strikes out 3 in the 5th. Is dealing. He has struck out 5 Braves. He's gotten 3 double play balls, and he's got a 4-1 lead. And now Sam Freeman back to work in the 6th inning with the top of the order coming up. Blanco, McCutchen, and Belt. Freeman allowed to hit for himself in the 5th inning, leading off that frame for the Braves, and struck out. Let's see if he can get Blanco and Belt, 2 left-handed hitters here, and give the middle of the Atlanta order a chance in the 6th inning to get something going. Blanco's been on base 3 times in this game. A walk, a single. He reached on a fielder's choice. He scored a run. He's knocked in a run. He's stolen a base. One of Joe's forward keys for Mike Soroka was control the leadoff man. That didn't happen.
Reached every inning, didn't it?
Against Mike they did. Yep. Sandoval's 5th inning strikeout, the first and only time today the Giants did not put the first hitter aboard. Here's a good pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Max Scherzer goes to work in the 7th inning against the Phillies. He nurses a 1-0 lead. How many strikeouts?
14.
14. That's slapped out of play, foul.
Sam Freeman competes, boy. No matter how many days in a row you run him out there, how much he's used, he is competing on every pitch.
Broken bat hit right to Bautista. Tricky spin, but Jose makes the play. And Blanco's retired for the first out.
Last time the Giants swept a series here was almost 4 years ago to the day, May 2nd to 4th in 2014.
Here's McCutchen. He's walked, scored, and hit a sac fly. He lined out to right in the first inning. McCutchen with a 5-game hitting streak. Took a strike. This man's been a good player for a long time. And he shoots another one to right field. Something he's done a lot in this series.
Right-hander was pitching to him early in the game. There was no shift. Left-hander, they put on a shift, and he's okay. I'll go back over here. He's had a great series, and shows you that while the Pirates had kind of marketed him for the last couple of years to move him, he's still got something to prove, something in the tank.
That's hit number 1491 for McCutchen. His teammate Evan Longoria got over 1,500 here in Atlanta. So here's Belt, 1 for 3, a 4th inning single. And down and in to Brandon Belt. Wind keeps swirling around the ballpark today. Times it's blowing straight out. Now it looks like wind's pushing the ball or pushing the flags toward left and left center. It's another happy zone for Brandon Belt, who has 6 homers. And the Braves try to tie him up and missed. 3-0.
Green light special here. Having to hit against a tough lefty. 3-0 count. Ooh.
Belt wasn't sure about that.
He doesn't take a practice swing either.
There's ball 4. 2 on, 1 out. Sack and walk for Freeman. This one an unintentional pass, and that brings up Hundley. The Giants catcher also with an RBI. And hits in 9 of his last 11 at bats. That's foul to the on deck circle. Nice play by Pablo Sandoval. And there's strike one. This is where the Giants have been so good, not just here in Atlanta, but over the last 9 games. They have put the ball in play and are finding a lot of holes with runners at second or third base. And they are squaring everything up, including their foul balls.
Well, if they don't square it up, they dump one in somewhere. It's all working.
Last 9 games, the Giants hitting over 300 as a team, 32 extra base hits, 20 doubles, 9 homers, averaging almost 7 runs a game. 35 of those hits have been with runners in scoring position. They're getting him on and getting him in.
And that's what the Braves were doing. Again, it's kind of a mirror image of what the Braves had been doing. Atlanta rarely missed on a runner in scoring position opportunity.
0-2. Well, I can tell you, it's a lot more fun being on the other side of it, isn't it?
Yes, most definitely.
And it's so disheartening, at least in this series, and certainly today. You start to get something rolling, and then bang, you hit into a double play. The Giants have turned more double plays than anybody else in baseball. 3 of them this afternoon. But still a manageable game. This is a key spot, though, with Hundley up there. The Giants cleanup hitting catcher. Pitch. Grounded toward third. Batista's got it. Second one. Ozzie the turn. Double play for Freeman. That'll help. Atlanta's turned 2 of them. And now in the home 6th, Freddie Freeman will lead off for the Braves. It's a 4-1 score. Couple of strikeouts. But he's having a great start to his 2018 season despite his rough day today. There's where Freddie ranks among all first basemen.
You'd take him on your team, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. And it's rare that some guy comes along and makes him look like he's looked today. A couple of swinging strikeouts. Suarez, though, has done that. He's only fanned 4, but 2 of them have been Freddie.
Sorry, I got distracted. Val brought us a treat here. Wow, listen.
5 strikeouts.
This is big league right here, buddy. Our friends at Delaware North and Mayfield Creamery brought us ice cream. Nothing like that on a beautiful Sunday. How about a comeback win to boot? As Freddie takes upstairs, ball 2. Young pitching coming through the Giants system and debuting in the major leagues is a very rare thing. As that one's out of play, foul. Their press notes had an amazing stat today. He's just the 6th pitcher to debut with the Giants in the last 10 years.
Good grief.
Fewer than any other major league team.
Well, he's had Freddie's number. 2-0 count. Fouled off a fastball, came back with a slider and a good one, running it away from him, trying it again.
Freddie shoots one to the left side, and he's going to beat the shift, and he's aboard to start the inning. No chance for Crawford to do anything but keep that on the infield. In doing so, he limited the damage to a single.
Third leadoff man to reach today. Let's hope a double play doesn't come back again. That one had just enough of the plate to give Freddie a chance to reach it. That looked like his bottom hand came off of that as he was reaching for the ball.
Nick Markakis, the league's leading hitter, coming in 0 for 2. He'll try to keep his 12-gamer alive. Third time through the order for Suarez, who misses downstairs, ball 1. Good stop by Hundley. 2-1. You got Bautista on deck, so some power in this Atlanta lineup coming up. Another bloop and maybe a blast, and then the Braves would be in business here.
Yeah, just get one up in that wind. Although I thought Ozzy's was going to go when he hit it. Got knocked down a little bit.
Down the right field line, but headed for the stands. 2-2. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Markakis didn't get it. 6 strikeouts for Suarez, 1 shy of his career high. He did that in his first game against the Diamondbacks on April the 11th. He threw 83 pitches against Arizona on that day. He's at 93 now. After getting Markakis, Bruce Bochy looks like he's going to go get him and get to the San Francisco bullpen. Suarez was terrific. You get 6 strikeouts and 3 double play balls, you've got a chance to give up a run or maybe 2, and that's exactly what he did. He departs with Freeman at first. Bautista coming up. The Giants are in the pen.
here.
Braves have a runner aboard, one out, bottom of the 6th inning here at home, trying to avoid a sweep at the hands of the visiting San Francisco Giants. This is Corey Guerin, former Brave. Righty-righty matchup for the San Francisco reliever.
Third of an inning last night. He did what he does best. He got a ground ball to get them out of an inning.
That's off the plate to Bautista. 1 ball, no strikes.
Fastball, slider, occasional changeup. Bautista 0 for 3 in his career against him with a walk.
Pretty good pitch, but Jose couldn't catch it. 1-1 count.
I was a little late on it.
Same spot, same result.
Can you tell where Corey's hair stops and his beard starts?
Kind of Brian Wilson like, isn't it? Remember the Giants closer?
Fear the beard. Whew.
1 ball, 2 strikes. As long as Corey doesn't show up at any award shows wearing an orange unitard like Wilson did one time, the world would be forever grateful. Corey played college ball at Young Harris Community College. And Mercer as well. Braves selected him in the 4th round in 2007. He got to the show in 2011. Had a couple of good seasons in 12 and 13. Got hurt with a right elbow strain. The Braves released him after the 2014 season. The Giants signed him, and here he is. 68 games last year with a sub-2 ERA. Runner goes, big jump, and Bautista pops it up on a full count pitch. Sandoval at third, battling the sun, makes the play, and Freeman's back at first with 2 outs. So it's up to Tyler Flowers to keep the inning alive for the Braves. Tyler's 2 for 2.
Freddie had the base stolen, but unfortunately with 2 strikes, Bautista had no choice but to swing at anything close. Tyler to run into one. Hit the ball hard his last time up.
To third, Sandoval, foul ball. Now Bautista's ball he hit a minute ago might have hit one of the catwalks if we were playing in Tampa. That's where we're headed Tuesday night.
I sure hope they get a new stadium down there.
Yeah, they're talking about it. There's a plan in place to try to get one in Ybor City, which is on the Tampa side of the water. Still a long way to go before that's resolved, but well, that would help the Rays a lot. Sharply hit. Sandoval's got that one. He has been picking and grinning most of the day today at the hot corner. He handled that smash beautifully. Flowers and the Braves are out of luck. Guerin has Suarez in front through 6.
Phillies this afternoon. He sent 15 Phils back to the bench by strikeout. He was on fire, but when he left in the 7th, oh, the trouble started. Solis and Kinsler ended up giving up the lead, so Scherzer will not get the win. Phil's on top right now, fellas, 3-1. They are in the 7th.
All right, Jerome, thank you very much. Great game break. Braves are hoping that Washington can win that game. At the moment, the Braves lead the Phillies, the closest team to them in the division, by 1 game. And are trailing San Francisco today 4-1. Jesse Biddle's the 3rd Atlanta hurler. He'll start the 7th. Pablo Sandoval will lead off. And he takes ball 1.
Jesse allowed his first couple of runs since being called up. First game of this series, home run to Crawford. Now Sandoval's been picking it over at 3rd, hasn't he?
Sure has. He couldn't get the ball out of his glove or field it cleanly on Flowers' ball in the 1st inning. That allowed the Braves to score their first run. It was an unearned run because of the Hansen error at 2nd base kept the inning alive, and the Braves cashed that in. But after that, Suarez and Guerin have been brilliant. Suarez trying to win his first major league game today here in Atlanta. A strike for Pablo Sandoval, 3-1. To short. Margot got the big hop, plays Patty Cake and gets his man. Sandoval's retired, 1 away. They're in the 9th inning in New York. Rockies lead the Mets 3-2. How about Colorado this year? They're having trouble winning at home, but no trouble winning on the road. That's a turnabout for them. The Rockies are 14-8 away from Coors Field. They've won 4 straight games, and if they can hang on there, the Mets will have an 0-6 homestand. And after starting 12-2 at the moment, New York is 5-12 since.
Yeah, it's not a good party going on at Citi Field, not with DeGrom going on the disabled list too, and designating for assignment Matt Harvey.
So we'll see how that one plays out in New York today. Pitch to Crawford is slapped to left. Acuna on the run, broke in, the ball's past him and up against the fence, and Crawford stands at 2nd with a double. He's got 2 more hits today. That makes him 11 for 22 in the last 5 games for the Giants.
I know he dumped one in his first hit today, but we figured out that he can hit a high pitch. And Acuna, who plays shallow anyway, I don't think he was going to cut that one off.
So 4 doubles for Crawford. He's in scoring position for Alan Hansen. Two more hits for the Giants' 2nd baseman. Who takes high. Ball 1. Phillies just took the lead 3-1 in Washington.
Scherzer's out, having allowed only 1 of those.
Wow. So 15 strikeouts for Scherzer, but the Nationals are losing today. They got Rendon back yesterday. Anthony missed 19 games with a toe problem, but the Phillies won that one 3-1. Rhys Hoskins hit a home run. 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch is fouled back by Hansen. 2-1.
Phillies can move into a tie for first if they win and the Braves lose today.
And they'll host the Giants for 4. Swing and a miss. Hansen didn't get it. Pretty sure he's not asking the umpire, do they play Speed Racer here?
Well, that was a good fastball. 94.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And up and out of play. Allen stays alive at 2-2. Congratulations to Craig Kimbrell. If you missed it last night, the fastest man in big league history to get to 300 saves. And the 300th save came 8 years to the day that the Braves brought him to the major leagues.
How about that?
2 balls, 2 strikes for Alan Hansen.
And he served an apprenticeship under some good people, including Billy Wagner.
The pitch is lifted to center, and Ender will make the catch. There's the second out. Hansen's retired. And now Jackson's coming up. And that's going to do it for Jesse Biddle. With Austin Jackson coming up, Brian Snitker doesn't want the lefty-righty matchup. So the Braves will go to their pen for a 3rd time here. Biddle goes 2/3 of an inning. Allows a hit, no walks, and no strikeouts. 4-1, San Francisco has the lead. We'll see how it works out after the break. Four-1 Giants lead. They continue to hit here in the 7th inning. In the middle of our 7th, we'll have the stretch presented by Advance Auto Parts. Peter Moylan is the 3rd Atlanta reliever to pitch today.
He worked 2 days ago against the Giants, gave up a run on 2 hits.
See if he can get Jackson and then get the Braves bats to work.
And that was incorrect, looking at the wrong line. He worked an inning, but did not give up a run.
Figures to be a 1-pitcher appearance for Moylan if he can get Jackson. The pitcher spot's due second when the Braves hit after the stretch. 1-0 count. And Austin didn't get it. It's 1-1. 4 runs, 10 hits for the Giants. 3 straight games where they've had double digits in hits. 13 on Friday, 18 last night, 10 so far today through 6 2/3. One ball, 1 strike. Right there, and Jackson took it. Our next opponent's Tampa Bay. They are trailing at home to Toronto. That's 2-1, I believe, in the bottom of the ninth. One and two from Peter. And off his knuckles and fouled at the plate. Blake Snell, Sean Newcomb at 7:10 Tuesday night. Julio Teheran will pitch for the Braves Wednesday night. The Rays have not announced a Wednesday starter. One thing they do is a couple of times a week have what they call a bullpen game. Perhaps Wednesday will be one such affair. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. And Jackson is retired. And that takes care of the Giants in the 7th inning. So Peter Moylan does his job. 7th inning stretch time in Atlanta. It is a 4-1 San Francisco lead. And on this beautiful Sunday afternoon here at SunTrust Park, always great to welcome Timothy Miller to the center of the SunTrust Park Diamond for what I'm sure will be another spectacular rendition of God Bless America as the Braves wrap up this series with the San Francisco Giants. Timothy, the stage is yours.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
4-1 is your score. Great job by Timothy Miller. Hopefully that'll lead the Braves to a stirring comeback. They've got 9 outs left to try to pick up their first one of the year against the San Francisco Giants. Time now for the stretch. Let's send it out to our Fox Sports stage here at the Battery Atlanta.
It's time for the stretch, presented by Advance Auto Parts and brought to you in part by Valvoline. Well, BJ, after the first 2 games of this series, Ronald Acuna Jr. was making what they call loud outs, hitting it hard, but they were going right at people. He's kind of redeemed himself today.
He sure did. He got off to a good start with a couple of hits, and I knew it was coming. That's why I took the chance to make him my pick to click today. But he's hitting the ball hard, so it's just a matter of time he would find holes, and he got off to a great start. That first at bat, he hit a bullet between shortstop and third base, and then he showed his speed on that second hit, getting the infield hit. This kid has all the tools. He is going to continue to shine, Jerome.
Do you see him? I mean, every young player goes through a short stretch. I don't want to call it a slump, a short stretch. Do you see that coming at all to this guy who's phenomenal?
No, he's a guy that can make adjustments. He's been doing it ever since spring training. He listens to Kevin Sicer. He's in the head of Albies. He does a great job of communicating with his teammates and continuing to get better. That's why this is the guy that's going to continue to make adjustments and get better. I don't see him falling into long-term slumps.
All right, well, we'll look for him to do some damage down in Tampa after this one before we get you back out to Chip and Joe. That'll do it for the stretch. Now a quick word from Advance Auto Parts.
Now until June 27th, purchase 5 quarts of any Valvoline motor oil at Advance Auto Parts. Upload your receipt at teamvalvoline.com/advance, and you'll receive a Pit Pal bobblehead of your choice.
4-1 San Francisco. Time for the Braves bats to wake up here. It's been a quiet series for them against some excellent San Francisco starting and relief pitching. Here in the home seventh, Camargo, a pinch hitter, and then Ender and Ciarte. Here's some changes for the Giants. What a luxury. They can bring in a Gold Glover, Evan Longoria, to protect the lead at third base. And Sam Dyson is on for the 16th time in relief.
He worked the 9th inning here on Friday night and got a double play ball. Throws hard, has a cutter and a changeup.
Right there, a strike for Johan, who is 0 for 2. 37,896, the official attendance for the Braves and Giants today. And they're hoping for a late comeback. We know all about the Braves in the 7th inning and beyond, how good they've been under Brian Snitker. Have their work cut out for them with Dyson, who is, as Joe said, throwing hard.
Get another leadoff man on. Get around to the top of the order. See if we can put a crooked number up.
Ground ball toward first, and Belt will race to the bag, and he'll win that race by a step. So one away in the 7th. Dyson gets the leadoff man. And Preston Tucker will grab a bat. He'll pinch hit. Peter Moylan went a third of an inning with a strikeout. Mentioned Tampa Bay and the ability for the Braves to use the DH. Tucker is a logical candidate for consideration. Ryan Flaherty as well. Good DH. Or you could play Ryan at third and put Bautista as the DH. A lot of options for Brian Snitker starting on Tuesday. Braves DH, the Braves interleague opponents, I should say, the American League East. In 2018, games in Tampa, Boston, Toronto, and then over the 4th of July holiday, 3 games with the Yankees. Ground ball hit towards second, right into the shift, and Hansen boots another one.
Seven errors in the series, and it hasn't affected them one bit. Thought maybe that one hit on the cut of the grass, but not so. He's had such a good offensive series. Maybe we're finding out why he hasn't been an everyday player, had a chance to play every day for teams.
Well, I'll say he's driven home more than he's allowed to score with his defensive adventures. Here's Ender. There's an opening for Atlanta. Pitch. He is back to the screen, foul. 0-1. Let's see if Ender can split a gap. He is overdue for some hard contact. A little pop. Longoria gives chase and won't have a play. It's quickly strike 2. A count that Ender has been in quite a bit, it seems, during this cold spell. Ooh, a flinch. Vic Carapazza didn't ring him up. Dyson thought it was good enough at 95 miles an hour.
Looked like it backed up a little bit too. Nice try by Hundley.
Ender floats one towards short, but Crawford's going to get back there, and he'll make the play for the second out. So it's an 0 for 14 run for Ender Inciarte. 0 for 10 in this series, and now it's up to Albies to keep the inning alive. Ozzie with a 5th inning single extends his hitting streak to 4 games. Fly ball hammered towards center, but Jackson is going to catch it. And that retires the side. The wind looks to be blowing out, but the ball hasn't carried much at all, and Dyson sends us to the 8th. Time for the 8th inning. Atlanta trailing by a 4-1 score. Dan Winkler is going to be the new Atlanta pitcher, the 4th reliever, 5th of the day overall, trying to slow down these Giants. Braves relief corps has done a nice job today. 3 innings of 3 hits, scoreless ball.
16th game for Dan. He worked a 3rd of an inning last night. Finish up the 9th inning. Got Kelby Tomlinson to fly out. He's done a real good job in the Braves pen.
So Evan Longoria in the flip-flop batting order leads off for the Giants. Longoria went 1 for 5 last night with 3 strikeouts, but an RBI double, and he swings at the first pitch and hits it to right. And that's an easy out, 1 away. Thank you very much. Here's Blanco. Mets lose. Colorado just beat them 3-2. That's an 0-6 homestand. Starting pitchers in that game in New York: Freeland and Syndergaard.
Not scoring any runs either.
Nope.
A bunch of their key players were in slumps when the Braves were there.
A strike to Gregor Blanco. You mentioned last night, Joe, the great job that Dan Winkler has done. He and Shane Carl have been revelations in relief for the Braves. We're hoping their relief corps can get on a big roll here in May. Talked a lot about all the walks in April. A lot better ratio here in the first days of May. Just 5 walks coming into action today in their first 16 innings, after they walked 65 men in 92 April frames. Better control, better results.
No walks for Dan in his last 4 times out.
This one's popped toward third. Bautista puts that away. 2 outs. And here's McCutchen.
Dan throws hard, and he's got a good cutter that rides in on the left-handed bats.
And this is meant as no indictment of Arodys Vizcaino or AJ Minter. Because of that point you just made, wonder if he'll get a chance to maybe get some outs in the 9th inning. Maybe save a game.
I don't see why not.
He's working the 8th today. Brian Snitker using his bullpen frequently today for the point Joe mentioned earlier. Day off tomorrow. So hopefully they'll be sharp and ready for our 2-game series with the Rays. 1-1 pitch. And McCutchen late fouled it back.
Still trying to go right field.
Yep.
2 strikes. Now Albies will move over to the first base side of the bag.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Up and away our way and into the seats. It's still 1-2. Swing and a miss. McCutchen blown away with 94 from Winkler, who has a 1-2-3 8th inning. Still a manageable game, but the Braves are running out of time. 6 outs left in a 4-1 Giants game. Here at SunTrust Park, Atlanta looking for a little Georgia power here in the 8th inning. Acuna, Freeman, and Markakis are coming up. They'll face left-hander Tony Watson, who's the 4th Giants pitcher today.
Born in Sioux City, Iowa. Finished high school in Grimes, Iowa. Went to the University of Nebraska. Do not know where Grimes is. But he's good. Really tough on lefties. And a real good sign by the Giants as a setup man. Two-year deal with an option.
Lifted to the right side. Acuna hits it in the air, and McCutchen is right there to make the play. Grimes, Iowa is almost smack dab right in the middle of the state. Of the great state of Iowa. Named after James Grimes, the 3rd governor of the state of Iowa. I'm not seeing any famous folks coming out of Grimes, Iowa, so perhaps Tony Watson's the most famous former resident.
Could be, especially with that breaking ball he just threw Freddie.
And now ground ball right side. Hansen's got that one, and a perfect throw for the 2nd out. Well, it's a big at bat for Nick Markakis. On a personal level, he'll try to extend his hitting streak. He is 0 for 3 today. His streak stands at 12 games. But still an excellent series for Markakis. 5 for 11 at the plate and hitting .346 at the moment.
Ender had a hitting streak working a few days ago and got a couple of hits to keep that streak going in the 9th inning to save it. Maybe Nick can do that right here in the 8th.
Fly ball to left. Blanco is there, and Watson has a breeze of a time getting 3 outs on 6 pitches. We head to the 9th. Pitch the inning.
Yeah, a lot of agility drills testing his hamstring and appeared to be doing them without any problems. Good morning to get some work in too.
Yeah, nice crisp weather, comfortable weather, and good to see him getting those legs back in order after a frightening scare here when he was doing some sprint work, and he went down with a bad hamstring and hasn't pitched for the Braves since.
Speaking of not having worked in a while, Vizcaino's last work was May 1st at New York. That was the start for Soroka. So 5 days ago, he's back out there. Needs some action. 4 saves now for him.
And he's got the 3, 4, 5 hitters for the Giants in the 9th inning. Can't give him any more. 4-1. San Francisco the lead. And a strike paints a corner. Two balls and a strike. Braves so far in this series with the Giants have been outscored 24-7. They've been out hit 41-21 in 3 games. And quite honestly, this is about as well as the Braves offense has been pitched by any of their opponents this year. And that includes the Nationals when they had Strasburg and Scherzer go back-to-back against them.
Agreed. And we didn't know a whole lot about Stratton or Suarez. We'd seen block 1 time. So these 3 young guys have come in here and really done a number.
Remember, there's a team that doesn't have Cueto, it doesn't have Bumgarner. Samardzija's just coming back, and it's been no problem for him as Belt hits one high in the air toward the gap. Ender drifts back shy of the track. That ball went straight up, and I'm sure Belt is looking at the flags in right center field and saying, how in the world did that not get out of the park? The wind looks like it's blowing straight out, but for whatever reason the ball isn't carrying when it's hit that high today.
He's hit the ball hard 3 times today and nothing to show for it. A couple of line drive outs and that one.
So Hundley's the hitter. Hundley is 1 for 3, and RBI single back in the 3rd. The Giants got 2 in that inning off Mike Soroka, 2 more in the 4th. You look at the score tonight, if it holds this way, you say, wow, the Giants pounded out 10 hits. Yeah, they had their share of hard hit balls, but in that 4th inning especially, bloops and bleeders, a couple of infield hits came home to score, and the key play was the Suarez bunt that set up a chance for the Giants to put the ball in play twice.
Yeah, and
they did.
And that bunt was with 2 strikes.
Mike went 4 innings, 4 runs, as Hundley puts a charge into that one, and it's well foul to the left. 2-1 the count. But as you said, Joe, didn't have the same sink that we saw up against New York.
No. And his slider or cutter was not really moving much, staying up and in the middle of the zone.
So this battle of rookies. Suarez making his 3rd big league start. Soroka his 2nd. Right now the Giants left-hander has the lead. Three balls and a strike. Hundley didn't get it. Full count.
It's a heck of a way to start a road trip if you win all 3 games in the first stop.
Well, I hope they win 4 more the next 4 days. Then they can cool off. Giants make their trip through Pennsylvania, Philly, and Pittsburgh. The pitch is hammered toward left, and Acuna is there, and he puts it away. Hundley hit that one hard. 2 outs. And the Giants again will go to the bench. I believe this is Kelby Tomlinson. He's greeted with David Bowie's Major Tom, with 2 outs and the base is empty by Matthew Kaminsky, the stadium organist. Base is empty, 2 outs. Braves will have Batista leading off the home ninth. And a blistering 98-mile-an-hour fastball to strike.
His arm looks good. Ball's coming out of his hand nicely.
Giants are big Astros fans today. The Astros have Justin Verlander pitching and winning in Arizona today. Verlander, by the way, riding a personal 11-game winning streak. He's 4-0 this year, undefeated since putting on an Astros uniform. And if the Giants hold on today and Houston wins today, San Francisco will head to Philadelphia, 3 games back in the West. After our series with Tampa Bay, the Braves will head to Miami. We'll get our first look at the Marlins. The Marlins are playing a lot better baseball.
They're playing competitive baseball. Got a good game last night from one of their starters. 6 shutout innings.
Yeah, Caleb Smith.
Yeah,
was the man that pitched. In fact, Miami, if they win today, and they've got the Reds in Cincinnati, if Miami wins today, that'll be 4 straight series wins for the Marlins. They won 6-0 yesterday, handing the Reds their 5th shutout of the year. The Reds are 8-25 on the year. The pitch. No swing by Tomlinson. After our 4-game set in Miami, we'll scoot up to Chicago and play the Cubs in a makeup game at Wrigley Field. Then we'll race them to O'Hare Airport and come back to Atlanta for a 3-game series here at SunTrust. Fly ball shallow right. Markakis is going to gather that in. Good inning for Vizcaino. 3 up, 3 down. Last chance for Atlanta. 4-1 Giants here in the bottom of the 9th. tonight. Sean Newcomb will pitch for the Braves. Blake Snell will pitch for the Tampa Bay Rays. Our coverage starts Tuesday at 6:30 Eastern Time on Fox Sports Southeast, and as always, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Time for the Braves to go to work in the ninth inning, down 4-1. And Hunter Strickland will be the man facing Jose Bautista to get things started. And this guy has been very tough.
Yeah, he seems to have settled down and found himself a little bit after being more or less a middle inning guy or a setup guy. Upper 90s fastball, good slider.
First pitch hammered to third and past Longoria. Evans got to be saying, get me out of Atlanta, because the Braves have hit missiles at him this entire series. And that one whizzed right by for a leadoff ninth inning rocket.
Boy, turned on one middle end too. No chance. It's like the ball he hit foul earlier that was up and in.
So there's a start for Atlanta. Tyler Flowers has a couple of hits and has driven home the lone Atlanta run. And that's outside. You know, Strickland's heart's racing. He's a Georgia boy from Thomaston and went to Pike County High School in Zebulon, Georgia. One ball, no strikes. Got the corner call that time. Last year, Strickland, 68 games, 58 strikeouts, 29 walks in 61 1/3 innings.
And had a hook 'em with Bryce Harper.
That's right.
Who charged the mound against him in San Francisco.
Way outside, 2 balls and a strike. Strickland had Tommy John surgery, missed the entire 2011 season. He was a starting pitcher in the Pirates organization. He was converted to relief, and the Giants got him to the big leagues in 2014. Fouled away, good cut. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, a lot of the people in the Giants organization thought that if he could control his emotions, you know, and not get so hyper and mad at himself mostly, he could become something pretty valuable to them. And here he is closing with Melanson on the DL.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Flowers didn't get it. There's out number 1 in the ninth. And Johan Camargo is coming up. Yeah, we've hardly talked at all about Mark Melanson. That's another big name, big contract guy with a back of a bubble gum card that's on the shelf right now. But the Giants keep winning. Hard to say for a manager who's won 3 world championships, but this might be Bruce Bochy's finest hour, keeping this team together and playing well with all those really serious injuries to deal with. Outside for Camargo, ball 1. Well, it speaks, of course, to the organizational depth and scouting and development. Braves have reaped similar rewards in 2018. Down and in. Ball 2.
As impressive as their offense has been in this series, the fact that their pitching staff has put out a huge fire that was the Atlanta Braves offense and the way it was going, very impressive.
Yep. And the Giants fell behind in each of these games. They trailed after 1 inning in all 3 of them. And usually in this day and age, you fall behind, it's over. Not for these guys. They had 10. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Base on balls for Camargo is going to bring another pinch hitter to the plate. It's going to be Kurt Suzuki now. Flaherty was on deck. He's called back. He was not announced. Point about the Giants, lots of early offense. Let's see if the Braves can answer in the ninth. They bring the tying run to the plate.
And that's the reason for the switch in pinch hitters. Chance for Suzuki to maybe run into one and tie it up.
We talked earlier about the Braves' 7th, 8th, and 9th inning magic. No one's been more instrumental in that than Kurt Suzuki. From the 7th inning or later this year, Suzuki is 12 for 30 with 6 RBIs. That's a .400 batting average. So you want to talk about high leverage, high pressure, clutch spots? Well, here's your guy. Difference here, he's coming off the bench cold with the game on the line for Atlanta. 2 on, 1 out, and facing Hunter Strickland
for the first time.
Outfield very deep for Suzuki. And Strickland can't throw strikes. He's all over the place. He's thrown 11 pitches, only 4 of them in the strike zone. 3 of them were to Tyler Flowers, who struck out. Big league pitch, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, went with something other than his heater, like a slider.
Kurt was fooled there. That's a tough break. That would have been ball 2.
Yeah, but he was ready to ambush the fastball. He was starting a little bit early, and Hunter Strickland didn't comply by throwing a fastball.
So another visit by Hundley here. Crawford joins the conversation. Ender Inciarte's on deck. Suzuki facing a 2-2 pitch.
Big pitch here. Doesn't want to go 3-2 and be forced to throw the fastball that Kurt can catch up to.
Full count. This game was in control for Bruce Bochy through 8. Now he's got to get up and pace. And Strickland's having trouble throwing strikes. A single, a strikeout, a walk, and now a 3-2 count coming for pinch hitter Kurt Suzuki. Line over third, fair ball. That's headed for the wall. That's going to score 1. Suzuki with a double. And Camargo stumbled around third base, almost too casually got back to the bag. And Longoria and Crawford paid attention. They'd have had him dead to rights at third base.
I thought he hurt himself. I really did. I mean, he was hustling to get around. He didn't see the ball hit the wall and bounce off. He was ready to score, and he hit the bag funny. A little surprised to see the stop sign from Ron Washington. Slipped. That's what it was. He slipped just before he hit the bag and had a hard time stopping.
So Camargo lucky on two fronts. One, that he didn't hurt himself, and two, that the Giants didn't throw behind him and nail him at third base. But Suzuki came through again, got a breaking ball, hung with it, ripped it down the line. An RBI double for him. Charlie Culberson replaces him at second base as a pinch runner. And now Ender Inciarte with a base hit could tie this game for Atlanta in the 9th inning.
Suzuki does it again.
Yep. Well, you hope this is the time Ender can break out of it. He's 0 for 3 today. The pitch. Low, ball one. There is nobody up in the Giants' pen. Strickland is their guy. One ball, no strikes. And when you're not around the plate, you're not going to get the close calls. 2-0.
He's actually aiming the ball versus the way he was throwing that fastball at the beginning of the inning. Slowing his delivery down, trying to place it. And I say that knowing that he just threw 195.
The 2-0. Grounded, fair at first. Belt's going to race to the bag in time. That'll score Camargo. It's now a 4-3 game. Give Ender an RBI. The Braves are down to their last out. But now a little more pressure on Hundley and Strickland. Anything in the dirt, Atlanta's got a fast runner 90 feet away presenting the tying run.
A lot of pressure on everybody. He's got a glove on. If the ball's put in play, they're going to have to make a play to keep the game from being tied.
Well, we've seen the Giants this series fumble the ball around an awful lot. They've made 2 more errors today. Here's Albies, 1 for 4. Belt backs up at first. The pitch, check swing, popped up left side. Longoria in foul ground is there, and the Giants win this game. On a check swing pop out, Albies and the Braves are denied despite scoring 2 in the 9th inning, and the Giants have swept the Braves 4-3. Your final score, Joe.
What a tough way for that one to end when it looked so promising there in the 9th inning. On a check swing of all things, Strickland got bailed out.
So Suarez picks up his first major league win. Mike Soroka suffers his first loss, and the Braves will hope to rebound and get back in the win column Tuesday night down in Tampa Bay. 4-3, the Giants sweep the Braves here in Atlanta. Stay tuned. Braves Live presented by Xfinity is next. Jerome and BJ will recap Game 3 action next.